loves, welcome back. Today I'm going to be taking a look and trying on some of the products from the NARS Studio 54 holiday collection, primarily letting you guys take a look at the Inferno palette, which seems to be the one which most people are pretty interested in. Now this is a textured eyeshadow palette and I will be both arm swatching these as well as putting these on my eyes so you can have a look at the pigmentation level, how it works, how the colors blend together, and whether you should pick it up for the holidays. Now, if any of you have seen the packaging from the Studio 54 collection already, it is bling AF. Everything is channeling 80s Studio 54 club or glam vibes. It's very big, it's very loud, but it's also really posh and really fun, something about the spirit of those times. Now, one of my personal favorites from the set is this gorgeous Studio 54 brush roll. This is fully sequined. It has a magnetized flap, so it will stay closed even though there isn't really a clasp or a closure. And look at this. This is just the most beautiful thing. I'm actually intending to take this out and use it as a keychain as well. All these little charms and Studio 54, NARS, everything that is dangling off this pouch. It is just gorgeous if you're thinking of a really luxurious gift for yourself or someone you love. Go take a look at the brush roll, and the brushes are pretty nice quality as well. So you get 4 of them, 2 face brushes and 2 eye brushes, and of course you can use the eye brushes for concealer as well. So you could technically use this as a all-round face palette. All these are synthetic fibers, they are cruelty-free, and just the quality and how beautifully made these are, I have no words. Here is a blender brush. Just a quick look, and these are ultra soft, ultra smooth. It's not the kind of really stiff, really uncomfortable or scratchy kind of synthetic bristles. Of course, this is quite a small and compact brush roll. It's great for traveling. It wouldn't necessarily fit all of your essential brushes if you were going on a longer trip, but short trip, 4-5 days, you could get by with just the amount of brushes in this one and save a lot of space. Of course, there are quite a few lipstick shades in the collection as well. I just have 2 with me right now, and these are the regular Audacious lipstick formula, and they are not the glittery lipsticks. Those are exclusive to certain markets only, I believe. So you can see this is a very, very normal finish. It's just the tube itself that comes in this special glittery bling Studio 54 packaging, and I really like it. I mean, I love those glittery, shiny, sparkly textured lipsticks. I love how they look online. I don't necessarily like how they feel on the lips or the finish. I tend to find them slightly translucent looking. I know Chantecaille has released some quite a few months ago, and then recently Gucci Beauty also released 2 limited edition holiday glittery lipsticks as well. But I personally prefer the regular cream or matte finishes, and I very much prefer lipsticks that have glittery packaging and not a glittery interior. But that's just me. If you're looking for a small gift, you could also take a look at the Softcore kit. This is sort of like a duo with a mini lip balm and 1 mini blush, so it's a very beautiful stocking stuffer. If you happen to be a pretty generous Secret Santa this year, you could also give someone this as a gift because these are handy. It's great for trying out a few NARS products without splashing out a ton of money. If you want a small gift for someone who's pretty new to makeup or quite young, like a teenager in your life, this could be something that's really, really luxurious and nice for them as well. Now, the star of the show for NARS this season is probably the Inferno Eye Palette. Now, this is a 12 shade palette with 1.5 grams of shadow per shade, and it's a very generous size. It's going to last you for a very, very long time. And what I love most about it is that if I were to block off these center shades, you get a very, very versatile and very true neutral palette. These shades are neither too warm nor too cool. They're not ashy, they're not orangey, and you can use them year-round because you get a good mix of velvety mattes and some pearls, and they are very, very flattering, easy to wear colors. You could mix all of these with, you know, some textured or glittery or really metallic shadows from other palettes or singles that you have as well. It's just very versatile all around. If you want to bring these out, you know, once in a while when you have a special occasion or party to go to, pop in one of these 4 textured shades and you are good to go. Now, if I were to break down the textures and formulas in this palette, I would break it roughly into 4 categories. There are the mattes. There are 3 shades here which just have no shine at all, that cloudy, dusty matte finish. And then you have the traditional pearls, which are these really fine-grained pearlescent shades which build really well, blend really well, easy to work with. There are about 3 of them. And then you have 3 textured shadows. What I call textured shadows is it's a combination of pearl or metallic pigments, regular pigments, mixed in with some slightly larger, chunkier, glittery flecks. They have nice adhesion to the skin, but they also contain larger, sparkly bits, so you would be able to see that if you wore these alone on your lids. And then of course the last finish would be the true pressed glitter shadows. There are 3 of these. This beautiful multi-colored sort of glittery silver one. You have this purple and then this red here in the center. They are all gorgeous. Of course, the 3 glitter shades would be just slightly trickier to work with if you've never used these before. You would probably also get better results using these with a finger.
You better see my baby, and I'll be good now, please. If he's the one that gets my wish, then tell him he's my lucky baby. If he's the one that gets my wish, then I'll be his lucky lady. If he's the one that gets my wish, then tell him he's my lucky baby. If he's the one that gets my wish, I would be the world's luckiest lady. I'll be good, I promise I'll be grateful. Yeah, we'll go the extra mile and even turn the tables. Yeah, yeah. We can build a house made of candy or a house made of snow. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, you know what I mean, no, no. We can build a house made of candy or we can build a house made of snow. He belongs with me forever. Then put him in a box and send away. Miami in big letters on the side. I know I'm not supposed to talk pretend. Please don't make me dream forever. And when I wake up, I better see my baby. Santa, I'll be good now, please. If he's the one that gets my wish, then tell him he's my lucky baby. If he's the one that gets my wish, I'll be his lucky lady. If he's the one that gets my wish, then tell him he's my lucky baby. If he's the one that gets my wish. If I say goodbye, then make me a liar, make me a liar.
And that's it for a quick try on and demo of the NARS Inferno palette from the Holiday Collection 2019. Now, I'm just very quickly going to run through some of the textures and my experience with them earlier. Now, this matte beige shade here obviously had zero problems with it. I primarily used it only as a sort of transition color above the socket. When you lay down a base of powder shadows already, when you go in with a slightly stronger, deeper shade just below that and diffuse it, you can smoke out the edges a lot easier. But I wouldn't necessarily use this as a base all over the entire lid if you want really strong color, because it removes any moisture or oils from the lid area, and if you go on with a stronger shade on top of that, it just kind of dusts off. So that's just a tip for you guys. Use it only where you want to soften out a smokier color. Now this matte brick ready brown here I used over the entire lid as my main lid shade. I did smoke it up into the socket and slightly beyond just for a very diffused and blown out look. Now I had to use this as a base primarily because the red glitter pigment here, as you're trying to tap and blend it out, it doesn't really grab and go on in a very opaque layer. So if you do not have a similarly colored base underneath it, you're going to see patches of skin. Hence why I suggest using this shade underneath if you want to apply this over the entire lid as a look like I did. However, with this one, I think if you were to use it on its own as a matte eye shade, then I would definitely suggest using an eye primer first, which I didn't do for this test because I usually like to go on with nothing else just to see how the shadows build on top of themselves. This didn't really want to build very much on top of itself. It blended and diffused out beautifully. It's one of those textures that shears out very well. But when you want to build intensity just in the lid area, it just kind of keeps dusting off and then only grabs in certain areas. This is not uncommon with a lot of richer or deeper matte brown tone and blue tone pigments. So if you have used shadows from the Subculture palette, if you've used some of Natasha Denona's matte shadows as well, you may have some experience with this kind of a formula. So definitely suggest using a slightly creamier eye primer if you really want to build that kind of intensity and opacity on your lid with just one matte shade. Now this sort of like a pearly textured overcoat shadow is a creamy texture. It's almost like a wash of glimmer over another shadow. On its own, you could use it over a bare lid. That might be a very nice look. Just bare lid, mascara, and you're done. It's very editorial, it's very beautiful. But if you were to try to pack this on top of other shadows, it may not grab very well. It definitely works better with a finger than with a brush. I used it on the inner corners and I had to go in quite a bit to just get a little bit of that glimmer to look obvious on the eyes. So this definitely was not one of my favorite shades. Now this pale champagne silvery gold shade here is probably the star of the show for me. This is called Turn the Beat Around, and it's a glitter mix. It's got different sizes and different colors of glitter thrown in there. So you've got gold, you've got silver, you've got a coppery red. So it's very dimensional. If you want to use this over your entire lid, you know, just for that very dramatic glitter wash, and just wear black winged eyeliner for New Year's Eve, this would be perfect. Now who do I think this is for? I definitely don't think this is a great palette if you're an absolute beginner. If you're not very sure of working with different kinds of textures and formulas and getting them to play nice on your lids, you may have a little bit of a difficulty with some of these shades, you know, getting some to show up, getting some to blend out, getting some to build up. But if you happen to be quite experienced with makeup, you've owned or used quite a lot of it, if you're a working makeup artist, then this is a very nice thing to add to your collection, I feel, simply because you get so many looks out of it. You can get very dramatic party ones for the holiday season, and you also have the beautiful neutrals and softer textures that you can use for daily life as well. Now, I love me a good textured eyeshadow palette. I love pressed glitters, so obviously I think this is a great one in my collection. I would definitely use every single color in this palette. There are no shades in here that I find to be duds or hard to use or that don't suit my personal style. However, that may not be the case for everyone, so I won't say rush out and get this, because you have to be pretty confident you're going to be using most of these colors. Otherwise, you know, it would just be going to waste for something that's going to cost this amount of money. The last thing I want to point out is I've only just started using this palette today. I swatched it and then I did this eye look and you can already see a huge dent in the red glitter shade. So this one is definitely gonna go way faster than the others. It's got a softer, creamier texture than either of the other two glitter shades, and in general, glitter shades will also be used up faster than powder shadows. You will not get hundreds of uses out of this. So if you mind the fact that this is going to be asymmetrical, you're gonna get some shades that will run out way ahead of the others, or you're just gonna leave them there and they're gonna dry out after a while, then this is definitely not the best palette for you, simply because there will be a bit more waste. And that is it for a very quick try on and first impressions of some of the products from the NARS Studio 54 collection. If you've checked out the collection, if you've grabbed a few of the items already, let me know what your favorites are, what you liked, what you disliked. Hope you guys had fun, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!
A sparkle lights a fire, I'm high, I'm a butterfly, a blooming flower, but I am thirsty. A drop of water and another drop of water. Sunlight, I'll soon